letting you get your lies off on this podcast all the time. We've had this conversation on air.
Then pull up the empirical evidence that is not that. Because you just be like, it's a lie, and then I'm going to just move on from it.
Because we let you lie.
All right, Gab.
This is where the pod started at. I'm letting you know.
Go ahead.
We let Mike lie. Do we not?
Hey, man.
Do we let you lie on this podcast?
Hey, man, I say what I say. I say what I say, and I stand on it. And if I'm wrong, anybody could just be like, yo, here's the evidence, right? You're wrong.
I do.
But if it's an opinion, like, yo, I'm going to stand on my opinion until more evidence is presented. Otherwise, that is not.
And that's why this pod works. I love people that stand on their opinions. But.
No, the hell you don't. No, the hell you don't.
When have I ever not like somebody standing on their opinion?
No,
I tell you you're wrong.
You be like, you're wrong. And then you be like, okay, Gab, prove it otherwise. Crickets.
Give me one time. Give me one time.
Anytime.
Anytime. Just one.
Gab be like, yo, that ain't true. Be like, oh, well, Gab, tell us what the truth is.
Give me one time.
Next time it happens, I'll mention. Literally, because it'll be this week. It'll literally be this week.
Look, if you have a terrible opinion, I will let you live out your terrible opinion. Like, for instance, me and Ryan just got done with a little debate because he was talking about Kendrick and Drake. And I told him, I said, you do understand we was all here for this. Like, a lot of times people are having opinions, and I hate people that live on, this is what I do hate, and maybe this gets misconstrued, and maybe not. I'm using my opinion as fact, and it's not. So when me and him had the debate, and the easy debate was, he was talking about how Kendrick is still handling this Drake situation. And I was like, yo, do you not know that this song came out? Did you not know that people been shot since then? Like, what are we talking about here? And so it was a great thing, but I'm like, you know, my Drake and LeBron stands together, who are infused in one, they get their lies off. They get their opinions off, and I let them live.
Dude, you couldn't even agree after Pusha T said that UMG reads everything. You couldn't even agree with the artist that you agreed with that they knew what Kendrick was saying and they was behind Kendrick.
Who is they?
UMG, Universal Music Group.
So because I thought that opinion that's such a small opinion of what was said. I think we mishandled that whole topic. Because I think the bigger joke...
Did I say it or did Pusha T say it?
Pusha T said that, yo, Drake... This is what Pusha T said. Hold on, I'm about to tell you.
Read exactly what he said. We can pull it up.
I didn't pull it up last time. This is what I would say about that whole topic. We had a conversation about Pusha T and Drake and Kendrick. And I think the bigger thing there was more of they not like us, because the guy who we saying is so hip hop, so down, so cultured, is making sure that artists are being censored because he's the golden boy. And I think the joke is that Pusha T showed that, yo, this ain't just happened this year. This ain't happened last year. This has been happening for almost a decade, where he would say, I'm gonna go to another black artist and censor their words, but he don't do it to nobody else, and nobody's allowed to do it to him. And I think Pusha T was pointing out that, yo, if that's who y'all saying y'all down with and y'all think that's cool and cute, then cool. I don't associate with those type of men.
That was not an interview with Pusha T.
That was absolutely in there.
He literally just said 5 lines. And none of what you said is what he said.
I read the interview. It's all in there. He talks about that. He said his thing with Young Thug, that happened over 5 years ago. Censored. He's saying, hey, this is when I know I was censored. He talked about with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. That happened over 6-7 years ago. He said, yo, they censored. It's been other artists who've been saying, no, Drake came and shelved my shit. No, you know what? Drake said, if you take him off, I throw y'all a favor. He put that all throughout the article. What you was trying to point is that, oh, Kendrick's the redheaded stepchild and they let him get his shit off. No.
I never said Kendrick is the redheaded stepchild. What I said is that he clearly stated that UMG reviews everything that goes through. So yes, if UMG was restricting other people on behalf of Drake, and if they no longer doing that, that means that they're also approving what's now coming against him. If they said up until this point, nobody can say anything about our golden child, and then all of a sudden the same group is saying, well, somebody can say something about our golden child, they made that decision.
I think what Pusha T was showing that, hey, he gets the privileges that nobody else gets. And
he does. It's like being a top sales rep at your company, right? You get to come in late. You get to leave early. You get to take the long lunch breaks.
Absolutely, but you don't get to sit at us at the table and act like you got the big dick in the room when you really don't.
If you're the number one sales rep, you absolutely do.
No, you don't. No,
at every company, yes, you do.
You miss what I'm saying. You don't get to come to us and say, yo, I do what y'all do. And it's like, no, bro, they got you on a curve.
Yeah, no, we're agreeing here. We're agreeing here.
So that's what I don't.
But once they no longer do that, right, and they give it to someone else, right? What I'm saying is those privileges have now been assigned to someone else.
No, it hasn't. What Pusha T was saying, and see, that's how. This is why I say we misrepresented it. Pusha T is saying no.
Well, not we. I did because I read what Pusha T said.
What he said in there was like, no, Kendra's not getting special privileges. He's saying what's happening now is they said that we're not gonna protect him, this person. So whether it was Kendrick, Future did 2 whole albums on this shit. So it ain't just Kendrick getting some shit off. It's Future getting it off.
So the point is that UMG has now said, okay, we were protecting you and we're not protecting you anymore. So it's not. So again, right? Who's making that decision? The artists have always been trying to come against them.
No, the artists have always been saying, don't censor us.
And have the artists been censored?
Yes.
So the artists have been trying to come against him.
No, the artists are saying that, I'm being. Pusha T even said it.
If an artist is trying to make an album and they can't make the album, why is that?
Because somebody is saying
somebody said you can't do it, right?
Absolutely.
So somebody said you can't do it, and now you can do it. So who's making that decision that now you can do it?
There was a story. I want to say Joe made a story about when he was signed to Def Jam. Jay-Z came in and he was like, I was just trying to finish out my album. He said Jay came in and said, I don't fuck with you. Your album ain't coming out. We've had artists say this all the time.
That's real life.
But I know it's real life.
Yeah.
But you don't get to come and sit with us and say, hey, man, I got the big dick in the room. Because when real men sit down, all that other shit with people, the pandering.
Don't do the real man thing.
No,
don't do that.
I'm doing that.
Don't do that.
I'm doing real shit. Yeah, I'm saying it.
Because it is sales. So it is the number one salesperson. It has nothing to do with their morals. It has nothing to do with what they standing on. It's sales. You
niggas will come into a room and say, I am this because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And you try to come sit down with the big boys and they say, get up. You not with us. We've seen this. I Do You One Better. They do ciphers all the time in rapping. We know the niggas who they got help in the room. They don't get to go rap with the real rappers. When the BT cipher started out, the first cipher was who? Lupe Fiasco. It was fucking, it was Lupe. I forgot the 3 dudes that was in there. But everybody knew, like, all right, these are the niggas who rap. They freestyle. They don't play. We don't let the little niggas come in at the lunch table and say, I am here. Let's get it cracking. So, yes, when Drake is saying, I'm mob ties, I do this, I do all that. And it's like, all right, well, cool. Then you come and sit down in the dope boys who you trying to be cool like. That's why I'm saying real men, because it's real men who sitting there and like, nah, bro, you can't sit here. You got to go sit over there. And guess what happens? Drake gets his ass up and go over there and he pouts. So, yes, I look at we misrepresented this Pusha story because Pusha sat there and
I wasn't talking about Pusha. I'm talking about what the label does, what UMG does. We don't work. We're not sitting in UMG. Neither one of us know Lucian. So we have to go off of what people say.
Absolutely.
And that's what he said.
He's been saying that for the last decade, though. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to see. He didn't say nothing new. Niggas been saying that, like, no, my shit got shelved. No, he took my publishing. Yo, he threw me a favor because I took this dude verse off my song. And it's crazy when it happens, but we don't get to look at it and be like, yo, you cool.
No, we're not talking about him being cool. We're talking about whether or not UMG approves or disapproves something. That was the whole point of the conversation.
Well, we know that.
So that means that when Kendrick is doing it now, it's not unfair to say, hey, he's a pawn of UMG right now.
No, or it's, hey, I'm sitting in a verse.
We can't say that Drake was a pawn, and then when he's no longer the pawn, that there's no pawn that exists.
Well, see, I don't look at it as a pawn. I just look at it as sales then.
Yeah.
Yo, I produce.
So you're the number one sales rep, and they will protect you, and now you're no longer the number one sales rep. This new guy is. When the new guy get the privileges, we don't have to sit here and be like, well, he's not getting any special privileges. Well, no, absolutely he is.
No, see, we running in circles. What I'm trying to say is I'm not going to call you corny because now the doorman is letting you in the door. I'm saying it's corny when you inside the door and you like, nah.
If you whiny, you whiny. But
I'm calling that corny. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna look at Kendrick or Pusha or Rick Ross or Future. I'm not gonna look at them and say they corny because they making music and Drake thinks about them, so it ain't coming out. I'm not looking at that and saying, oh, that's corny. I'm not gonna never do that. That's ridiculous to me. I'm not gonna. And for all the people who want to be tough, let's protect black men. I'm not gonna look at them and say, yo, we censoring their artistry. Like, no, I'm not doing that. That shit corny. And we've been calling Drake corny for a decade and a half, but now niggas is finally reading the article and saying like, damn. I got to admit that this man was so sensitive that verses he thought was about him, he got it shelved. That's the crazy shit. That was the part of the article.
But UMG didn't have to shelve it.
All right. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, but you say like Drake did it. No, Drake didn't do it. UMG did it.
Yeah, but if your biggest artist is telling you to do something, I'm looking at you like, y'all corny too. I never looked at UMG and said they ain't corny. Like, what? We know they corny. They pay people fractions of penny on a dollar. When am I ever gonna look at them and say, nah, they ain't the corny ones? No, they doing what they supposed to do. We know what's up with that. Hey, I promise y'all we got a good show for y'all. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get this out. We gonna get all this shit out today. Mike came in hot. Mike came in a little late, but he came in hot. He ready. You ready for today?
Man, I had things to do, man.
You had to be a dad.
I'm on time all the time.
Y'all go to these third
Well, you
world
had to be a
countries.
dad. I respect that.
This is my problem with Passport Bros. Y'all go to these third world countries. Y'all get these women because, I can just get me a woman over here that she's going to sit down. She's going to shut up. She's going to do
And she's bad as well.
And she's going to be bad, right? But when a woman in America says the same thing, I want you to do this, 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 and that for me. I could be that stay-at-home wife.
You can't go to a
There's a problem. When we say it, it's a problem.
This is the
but Passport
argument.
Bros,
Flawed argument. Do you know why? Because of hypergamy. You can't go to a third world country, pick up a man that's going to be a millionaire, good looking, 6 foot, great D, and then come and be your perfect guy. That's highly unlikely. The likelihood is those type of guys are going to be in your country of origin because you come from a first world country. Yes. It doesn't work the same. This is what men and women are different. Men don't mind dating down. Men don't mind marrying down. You can, as a man, I don't mind marrying a woman that works in McDonald's flipping burgers, bro.
Don't do that.
As long as she's bad and she's cooperative, it doesn't matter.
This is my problem with Passport Bros.
I love this argument between the Passport Bros and the women.
It's old. Stop dick policing, man.
They never gonna stop doing it.
Stop dick policing, man.
I'm gonna tell you why they're not gonna stop doing it. Because men come over here and act like now they get to run the world, and that shit ain't gonna never. This is my lunch table example all over again. This is when men who what the women are saying is, yo, you can't get women in your country, so you got to go to a third world country where they.
And stop calling them third world country.
Where they are.
It's developing nations.
See,
that's the correct terminology.
This is how we try to pretty up what's going down. This is why the argument going to continue to happen because men go over there to these third world countries where people are poor, insanely poor, and they are what the women believe. I'm not saying I believe this, but what they believe is, yo, y'all are getting cooperation because they're poor, and you know what happens? Bump all that. Those men come back here and they try to talk to the American women crazy because they didn't felt good for 2 weeks. And women are looking at them like, get the fuck out of here. And this is my lunch table argument. Those men come and sit at the lunch table and try to tell men how they got to act and react to women. And niggas is like, yo, go to that table over there, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
that's your lunch table over there.
Yeah, you have two different types though. You have some men that don't care either way, right? Like you have some men, they do fine here in America, and then they go over there and they be like, well, it's better. Because at the end of the day, one of the things
I don't believe that.
What? That men that get women here don't go there?
No, I don't think, not for that purpose, no.
What purpose do they go?
I don't fucking know. I don't believe that. What I really don't.
Well, you got to give me a reason. If you say it, I don't believe that. It's got to be more behind it. I'm saying that
I don't think they get women here.
There's men that do.
I don't.
But there's no way that every guy that leaves the country, you said, yo, can't get women in America.
I'm not gonna say 100%, but I'm saying that the dudes that you see over there that's really hunting over there, them niggas absolutely don't.
Well, I mean, but again, right? It depends. If you're going over there, you going straight to brothels, then yeah, that's a lot different. But I mean, what would be the difference between them doing that and going to Vegas?
Well, it's only 2 brothels out there, and I think one got shut down after Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference, and it's more expensive. I personally, I think only like 30% of men can really get women. So that's that. And we talking about good game, and you can shoot at a higher clip over there. You will get prettier women over there.
Well, now we're talking, right? So that's what I'm saying. So like, let's not sit here and be like, yo, they're struggling. Like no, I ain't even got to America yet because they are struggling. Yeah, like, dating here in general is a struggle for most people, right? Men and women.
You right on that. I can't.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So is it a level of difficulty? Like, I think when guys go out of the country, I don't think most countries is like, yo, it just went from all Madden to what's the first level on Madden? Rookie, right? I don't think that's the case. I think if you're paying for it, sure, right? If you're paying for it, it might be all Madden here trying to pay for it in New York City versus being a Sasua and paying for it, right? Like, but I think the ideal of just going out and meeting a woman, like it's gonna be
these niggas don't speak Spanish. They not going out and meeting women. Stop lying. You can lie to them. You can't lie to me today.
No.
These niggas don't speak no Spanish. They using the apps to be able to translate shit. So they getting over there, and most dudes is going over there paying for box. I'm not against none of that. I say do what you want to do. However, you do not get to come home, sit at the lunch table, and try to tell men how they treat women, and you don't get to tell these women how they supposed to react or react. And that's why I think
I don't know if you tell women anything. I think
and I think that's why this argument is going to keep happening between passport bros / incels, and this is why I'm saying I don't even think it's on passport bros. I think what happens is incels have a louder voice than passport bros, so they keep arguing with these women, and women get to look at them directly and say, you can't get laid.
The incels argue all the freaking time anyway.
So I don't even think they trying to argue with passport bros. They end up arguing with incels because let's go to my man right here.
Yeah.
Nobody don't need to be marrying no McDonald's worker unless she the manager, and I'm talking about, and shout out to all the managers of McDonald's.
Well, most people go to marry within you go marry within your social circle, right? Most people aren't marrying outside of the social circle in general.
Okay.
Right. So you go to marry, water fines is level, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there has been a consistent complaint in the United States of, our women think they're here and they think all men are here, right? And I'm using air quotes if you listen to audio. So that has been a problem. That has been a complaint. That's not new. That has been talked about since the early 2000s. None of that is new. Matter of fact, it's been talked about before that, right? Mm-hmm. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That was written in the 80s? That was white folks.
Yeah.
So this has been a constant complaint here, right? So, but here's the thing. The same way bros are going to Costa Rica, DR, Colombia, Mexico to a lesser extent, right? It's the same way that sisters are going to Cancun, Punta Cana, Bahamas, Jamaica, right? There is no difference.
Yeah, it is.
There is no difference, bro.
You ain't seen a woman go to the DR to look for love in your whole life.
Bro, they made a movie on it in the 90s.
I'm not talking about no movie.
I mean, you said it. You have not seen a movie made.
Give me the time you heard a woman say, I'm going to Bahamas, I'm paying for dick, and I'm hoping that
they don't talk about it.
Can I land? Can I just land where I'm going?
Yeah, go ahead.
When do they get to say, when have you heard a woman tell you, I am looking for love, I'm going to the Bahamas and doing it? You haven't.
To be fair, I don't hear guys saying I'm going out of the country to buy a pussy either. Right?
Oh, I believe that's a lie too.
No, I have no guys that say to me, I am going out of the country to buy pussy.
Look,
I tell you what, give me a name. Give me a name.
That ain't even my Steve. That's not how I give it up.
Like, I don't know guys who do it. I don't know what guys do when they leave, but I'm saying, like, we're not sitting around having a conversation. Hell, you in one of my group chats. How many times have you seen, niggas be like, yo, I'm going to go buy some pussy out of the country. I travel out of the country. I've never said that.
You the only one that's not married in that group chat.
No, it's like half of us not married in that group chat.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I don't give up no information. I'm here to tell y'all, I don't judge no man and say, yo, I'm going out of town. I'm doing what I'm going out there to do. I'm getting some shit off. I'm doing my thing. I'm not going to play naive or ignorant to act like it don't happen. And I'm not going to sit here and say I've never heard
But it's the same thing. I mean,
I've never heard a woman say she going out the country.
Yeah, but we keep seeing videos of on Twitter of women on dirty rafts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so them not saying it doesn't mean that whatever's not happening.
I'm not saying women don't go out the country to get their rocks off.
When we went to Miami when we was younger, right? Did we not see any women when it was out of town?
Yeah, you see women out there.
So it's like,
I said looking for love. I ain't saying getting laid. I know women go out the country, they get on cruise ships, they do everything, and they get dick down. I'm not judging that at all.
Well, you kind of making it seem like they don't.
Nah, I'm saying looking for love. They don't go out there saying, yo, I'm about to do this.
But High Stella got their groove back. That was not a movie about black men finding love.
Man, that shit came out when I was 3.
I'm just saying.
Nobody going off of that.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying off the women I know
we don't have a movie like that for guys.
No, because niggas just do it.
So, I mean, what, Pretty Woman? I mean, that's white guys, but...
I mean, niggas know what's up. acting like niggas know Spanish, so they going over to wherever to talk to these women like the old white men. We trying to act like that ain't the trend of them going to Thailand.
Well,
and they working out kinks over there, and they working out.
Oh, they doing some wild stuff, and some wild stuff happened. But wild stuff happened in Miami on them boats. Wild stuff happened in Vegas, in those penthouses. Like,
hey, y'all don't get to come to the lunch table. Y'all better keep having them arguments with the women online, because I'm gonna tell you this, that is going to be a extremely long topic for all parties involved, because the women ain't letting up, because they are starting to realize, like, all right, we know what y'all doing. Like,
no, I think the women are upset because they playing B's. The simpish ass dudes that with backup plans are saying, nah, I'd rather do this.
Oh yeah, they mad over multiple reasons, but I think
that's the problem.
But I think the amount of men that is shrinking for them, like the amount of men is shrinking at, all right, let's protect the all males that's doing whatever they want to do. That is shrinking, because niggas are getting like stronger and feeling like, all right, now I want to go sit at the lunch table with everybody and be like, hey fellas, this is how this shit's supposed to go. And it's like, hey bro, what are you talking about? You ain't getting no women here. And we see this. When I was over there, the last time I was over there, bro, you'd be surprised how many older men I saw, and I was just like,
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I saw them, but also when I saw them, though, I'm like, yo, I can't really fault them for that, because they're not gonna get this back home.
Thank you. That's all I was saying.
But we're talking about a subset of a subset. I'm saying most men, like, dude, most of the guys are high earners. Most of the guys are educated. Like, you know, like, dude, bro, if you got money, what I always say, women are loyal to resources.
Okay.
So it's like, if you got money in the U.S., you're fine.
Yeah.
You make a decent salary in the U.S., you don't have to go anywhere. What I'm saying is, I think a lot of guys is like, yo, I prefer this. It's a preference. That's it.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to sit here and be like, man, y'all shouldn't be doing that.
No, I don't think, and that's the thing. Men are even saying that. Men are just like, don't come over here talking that shit, because those high earning older men, they don't get to go to the 26-year-old nurse student and be like, yo, what's up? She's going to laugh him off the block. She don't have to talk to him. But the 26-year-old down there who is poor is willing to rub your back and kiss your neck and say whatever in Spanish that you can't understand.
So which one should he choose?
He gonna do whatever he wants to do.
I'm just saying, so which one should he choose?
He just don't get to sit in front of me and tell me some shit, because I'm gonna laugh that nigga out the fucking room every time. I'm gonna look at him and laugh and be like, bro, don't talk to me. But do your thing, bro. Cool. That's how it's gonna go. There we go. Let's get the pie started.
Mike Will.
I am Gavin B. Welcome to Surf. If y'all don't like the first 20 minutes of this podcast, you at the wrong spot. We are on it today. We on y'all ass. Oh, hold on. Let me find my dad tip. Trying to save black men.
We give black men a place to be seen, a place to be heard.
Sometimes I got to push back because be lying.
They do, but so do women. So that's what makes the pod cool.
Strap in. It's about to be fun.
Now let's begin.
Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. I believe this is episode 183. I cannot remember. Me and Mike are pushing it. None of the ladies have told us, Mike, that they're getting us our balloons. So I think we're going to have to go on Amazon and get our balloons.
Yeah, I will have them. I think we're like 3 away. So if y'all are watching this on YouTube and you have not subscribed.
Now I'm talking about 200. Episode
200 episode? Yeah. Oh, I'll talk about our 3. I thought you talking about our 3,000.
We ain't hit that? We was at,
no,
look, I was up last night scrolling. I was like refreshing.
We like 3 away, man. We like 3 away.
Look, by the time this drop, we are there. I do love, all right, I hate this, but I love it. And this is where Mike be right. Yo, don't come in the comments saying, do you guys just repurpose and talk about Joe shit? Don't do that. Because Joe just said on the last episode, this is me doing exactly what they accusing us of doing. He just said, I don't care if you got 1 listen, 100 listens, 1,000 listen. He is talking about us, okay? That's who he's talking about. But shout out to that. Shout out to everybody that love us.
Hey, Joe, to prove that you're talking about us, mention Micropod in your next episode.
Yeah, just to double down on your tape.
Just to double down.
Also, if you want to debate with Mike, you cannot talk trash in our comments and then DM us on the side and say, can I be a guest? If Mike says yes, he want to talk to you, cool. But I know Mike, and Mike gonna look at you and be like, that's corny, and keep it moving.
Yeah, we don't. Gav, no, I hate guests on the day pod.
He do,
but we will do it in the live. So like anytime you want to go live, like, I have no problem with doing it, and it's easy for y'all to get y'all stuff off because nobody really talks crazy in front of me.
That is true. Besides me, Ez don't. Baraka lies and say he do.
Yeah, so, so it's like, because I'm a reasonable person. So when I start dropping stuff, people be like, man, I agree. But online, y'all be disagreeing and you going in. So it's going to be way easier just to do it online anyway.
Shout out to the ladies having a debate if women are mean. That was a debate in our group chat today. Shout out to Woods. He hit me up in the group chat. He was like, yo, I think Gavin hate women. He be mean. He did pull up. He did, this is me exposing our group chat. He did say when it come to topics for you to kick people backs in, like I'm Wade throwing up the alley to LeBron, he posted that in the group chat. He was like, this is Gavin and Mike.
I don't care. I do not kick brothers backs in.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
I don't. I won't. I tell y'all this all the time. I tell y'all I am biased. Like I am the black man bail bondsman. Y'all not gonna get that out of me. That's gonna be part of the fun of the show. Is that I'm never gonna do it.
There you go. This episode is brought to you by No Grease Barbershop at Northlake and Premium Outlets. Please go in there. I will be in there soon. Don't judge my haircut. I should have got a cut today. Oh well. Nell, I see you soon. I already prepaid for my haircut, so don't try that pulling that little tip line thing out when I get there. Yo, shout out to Ice Cream and Dads this past Saturday. An amazing time with active dads. It was beautiful to be there. Sorry I had to dip out. 30 minutes is all I had in that sun. I ain't had no sunblock on. Plus, I had to go to a kid's party. Shout out to baby Leo. It was his first birthday. But it was great seeing a bunch of dads with their kids. And you could see the women not there that was a party because it was only dads. But the women that was at Camp North End just kind of looking like, how the hell y'all got 30, 40 dads and their kids here? So we got to do more of that. Father's Day is coming up. But also this Thursday, if you listen to this, it's Tuesday right now. Thursday, we have an event with Active Dads at Pins and Mechanical. Pull up, I think it's 8.
You got your New Balances and your high top socks?
I got my high top socks. They on right now. Matter of fact. Sorry,
you can't wear the cool shoes, man. You gotta have the dad shoes.
Well, I don't like these shoes. I call Jordan 1s fat bitches shoes. I don't know who I should have said that.
You shouldn't have.
But I do. I think those are the shoes that the fat girls wear to look cool.
That is a solid, astute observation, though.
This is the worst Jordan of all time.
The dunks are, yeah.
Nah, not the dunks. I like the dunks, but the ones that look like dunks.
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
Yeah, I know. See, I be picking up what you putting down. Somebody gonna argue with me that it might not be. It's in my top 5 ugliest shoe, besides the banned ones that y'all gonna say, oh, the Jordan 1s, and look how it changed the game. All right, cool. After we get past that, they made, they let some preteen make every colorway in them shoes and just ruined it for me. Dad tip of the week. Fathers, if you need to know or you wondering why your son isn't talking to you, it might be because you're judging him or he feels judged. And I want to encourage all dads to take a seat back. If you notice that your son is pulling away from you, he's not sharing as much, he's in his room more, he's on that game all the time, y'all riding in the car and he's on his phone or he got his hood up, his AirPods in. The nigga don't even have a phone and he got AirPods in. That shit would be crazy. I had a kid do that one time on a photo shoot.
Oh, yeah?
Did not have a phone. He had AirPods in the whole time.
Just not to be bothered.
Just not to be bothered. And I made him take them out. His mom did not say nothing.
Yeah.
I made him take them shits out. I'm about to crack them over his head. But sometimes boys, especially these preteens, man, they feel like they're being judged and they feel like they can't share things with you. And it might be because you're so closed off because you don't understand them. And they don't understand you, but sometimes you need to get them out their comfort zone, sit down with them, talk to them, ask them questions, and stop whatever you're against. This ain't the time to get your macho, I'm against this stuff off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to listen and you can help them through their feelings.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times parents don't remember when they were children. Like, I mean, I go through that a lot with a lot of my friends. Like, we'll have conversations. And since I know my friends, right, I've known some of them almost our whole lives. And they'll be telling me about their teens, and I'll be like, "Yo, you used to do that, right? Like that's literally in their DNA." Yeah, and they'll be like,
yeah." And you know what? As I got older, I always knew my dad had all the answers. But when he allowed me to notice that y'all don't have the answers, but I'm here for you, then that made me trust him even more.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just about being available for your son and just saying. And your daughter, excuse me. Shout out to the girl dads. But sometimes just letting them know, like, yo, I'm available. I'm here for you. Let's work through this together. And you don't want to be having a son or daughter that feel like they judge you and then they got to go to college and then you really don't know what's going to happen.
That's real. That's definitely real. So my son he's heading to middle school. So
shout out.
He had his promotion ceremony this week. So anyway, he's maturing and he's like couldn't sleep.
Yeah. He was nervous.
He came around there and he was like, man, he's like, I'm really worried about, how successful I'm going to be in the future, whatever. So we had a conversation at like 10:30 at night about like, hey, a lot of success is failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand that, right? But I'm here with you every step of the way, man. Like,
absolutely.
And I as long as I'm here, it's like, yo, you always going to have something to fall back on. So I was like, yo, take risks. Don't be worried about failure. Don't be afraid to fail. You know what I'm saying? And then like he was like, he couldn't sleep, so I have like this Papa Sun in my room. He was like, can I go sleep in the Papa Sun? Because I was outside on the patio.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, like he just wanted to be like, okay, that's my comfort space.
Yeah.
In my dad's room, being able. So to your point, right? Like I like that he was able to have that. And I only have him every other week. So to any of y'all that are fighting for custody and you wonder what that looks like and why it's important, it's for things like that. You know what I'm saying? So they have those moments with their father. I was talking to a chick the other day, and I was like, she was like, oh, you have your kids. She's like, yeah, your kids 2 days in a row. And I was just like, so I actually have them, every other week. Yeah. And I was like, and I know one of the things that I told her, I said, it's good. I said, it's good for him to have the fatherly time, but I said, it's also good for my son's mother. Yeah, to have that fatherly influence as well, because that helps her out. Whether women know it or not, a lot of times us being dads, it makes their life easier.
Oh, absolutely. And then I end with this. I like what you said about talking to him through school. And one of the things I told my nephew when he went off to school. So for those that I know, my nephew is 1 year older than Mike's son. Yeah. So they very close in age. And last year I told you, I said, yo, he nervous about middle school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to remind him every day is practice, not perfection.
Yep.
And it's just like, hey, you're going to be all right. Like, let's just keep working. You know what I'm saying? Let's do progress. Let's do practice. Perfection will come whenever it's going to come.
Exactly.
Or it might not never come. But if you just say, hey, I want to get better and better and better, you'll be great. So I encourage all my dads, just take that with you this week. And don't say I never did nothing for you. Content over everything has been a thing.
Yeah, it has been.
And we've seen y'all die over content. And what that looks like is you eating stuff you shouldn't eat. You jumping in waters you shouldn't go. What was my man who went to that random island like in the middle of nowhere and indigenous people blicked him off.
Plucked him.
They said, all right, you want to play stupid games? You get a stupid prize. Yeah. Here you go. We've seen people climb the tallest building in the world with no safety harness or nothing on. And guess what? They no longer here with us, right? Yeah. We've seen people do stupid stuff. But now we get into this point of, y'all killing people over content. And it touched home with me because, first of all, I love Vegas, by the way. Never went to the brothel that Lamar went to. Just to be clear on what Mike said earlier. Did look it up, though. Did check out pricing. Because I want to know what Lamar got. I was like, yo, what he got? And it ain't there no more. And the dude died. So I don't like that. But Vegas is a place. Vegas is slowly becoming Atlanta for me. It's not a real place. Just the stuff you hear, you see. I know Florida's not a real place. I know Atlanta's not a real place. Vegas is slowly becoming that for me. But all and above all, the internet is not a real place.
Yeah.
A black couple was actually killed in front of the Bellagio of all places.
Of all places, yeah.
We not talking about old Vegas on Fremont. We ain't talking about them side streets you got to take to get there. We ain't talking about by the mall. No, we talking about in front of the Bellagio, a landmark because of the fountains. A black couple was gunned down by another YouTuber. And then the saddest part about all of it is it's on YouTube Live. And for me, it was so much wrong with this problem that I was literally high. I called my wife yesterday. I was like, yo, this pissed me off.
Yeah.
And I said, first of all, what was your reaction when you saw this? And then we're going to get into like, I'm going to break this down for me. Like, why?
Well, when they said it was YouTubers, I was like, I know most YouTubers.
Yeah, they got to be famous.
Yeah. So I was like, let me go look them up. So I could not find anything on them. But 2 days later, information came out. So evidently it had been brewing for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. The guy who did the shooting had pepper sprayed the guy who got shot wife like 2 years ago. So, and evidently they've had an ongoing dispute online, since then. So you know how I feel about internet stuff, right? I always tell y'all, like, I do not engage with there's three people I don't engage with.
Oh, can I guess?
No.
Misandrous?
Yes, that's one.
A group that won't be named.
Yes, that's two.
And internet trolls. I mean, I don't know the other one. Sorry.
No, well, it's misandrous, bigots.
Oh, yeah.
Those will not be named.
There we go.
Yeah. Like, I will not. And there's a fourth one, but they really don't engage with my content.
I was there. I'm going to get it right next time.
Yeah,
Mike said, no, you cannot.
But it's like, I don't get into it because there's no rational conversation that can be had. And it always escalates. And one thing I always tell people, I'm not going to spend money and frustrate myself, and I'm not going to do things for fun and frustrate myself. And what I do on the internet, like coming in here, this is for fun, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love doing it. I love our audience.
We made some money last month, though.
Yeah, not really, but we're
good.
doing better.
Yeah, we can do better if you want to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, we do it. We'll be fine in probably about a year or so. But
there you go.
But the whole point is, right, if I love doing something, it's like, I can't make it contentious, right? Like, that's why I always look at what Kevin Samuel does. And I was like, I know he's making a ton of money, because I was like, it doesn't look fun. Yeah. Like, nothing that he did really, really looked fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think all that arguing, late night, going back and forth.
With the Red Bull.
7 nights a week, 6-7 nights a week. I think it took a toll.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. I thought I had the... I actually do have it on Do Not Disturb, which means this person called me twice.
They want you.
Yeah, so they had to get me later.
But you said, you said, as soon as Kevin Samuel died, first thing you wrote the next morning is, we can't let this happen.
No.
Where you get so much invested in something that you up hours arguing with a particular group on the internet. And Sally, I'm looking at academics like, I don't know how he's still alive, because he's drinking tequila instead of Red Bull every night. And it's Patron at that.
Yeah. But he's probably not arguing, though. He's not elevating that heart rate every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, arguing is something completely different. And I think these two YouTubers, I forget their name. I think one is Finney.
Finney, whatever. And then Manuel Ruiz.
Manuel Ruiz, right? Like, I think that, first off, and to me, it ain't even masculine be going back and forth on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we really got a problem with each other. Let's meet. Yeah. Like, let's have a conversation.
Well, they did that.
Well, no, he ran up on him. He was looking for him, and he ran up on him. And they didn't take it serious.
They did not. And that's why I want to go with this video.
Yeah. They didn't take, because the day before he was out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, y'all, if he done pepper sprayed your wife, you got to be taking it serious, because it ain't like you could travel state lines armed. I mean, they maybe could, because they're from Arizona. But if you see me in Vegas, chances are I ain't got nothing on me. Yeah. If you see me in Miami, I ain't got nothing on me. Yeah. Right? So it's like, I can't be in somebody else's city talking smack. There's no way for me to even defend myself.
I don't want to speak on RP to that couple. Yeah. It gotta suck. You die with your wife and y'all dying over content.
Over content. That's crazy.
Over YouTube. And y'all, I think they said neither one of them had over like 3,000 like followers. Like,
that's
where
insane.
we at?
Yeah.
I can't imagine me and my girl out and somebody roll up on me. And then let me tell you this. No, y'all didn't take it serious. And this is what I mean. Some of y'all can't read rooms. And I can't put this on young boys because it seemed like everybody was older, right? Yeah. Not the generation I say need to get off the internet. Actually, my generation. But for me, it's like, my man is letting y'all know that he ain't playing. He in town. He looking for you. He posting videos, sending it to y'all. I'm looking for y'all. Then to notice that the husband saw him coming. The fact that y'all propped up a phone so y'all can record this for YouTube, because y'all making content out of it. You making money out of it right now. And I know YouTube ain't finna pay out none of that money. No. Because they just won. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, this thing is gonna be, we're gonna forget about this next week.
It's gonna be gone. But I hope we cannot have influencers going at each other violently.
We can't, but
that is insane.
Something happened for that man to get to that point. And sometimes, fellas, every time we have a situation like this, and I use last night to do the same, I talk to my wife about how we act if we see somebody we don't rock with, and how we're going to act. What's her role in this? And I know that some of y'all that are single, miserable, who don't like me and Mike are listening right now. And I'm talking about the ladies. You listen to that right now saying that's crazy. But I'm sorry. I have spoken to my wife multiple times. Some shit pop off. You go do this. I'm going to do what I got to do. Because when this man pulled out the gun, first of all, your wife is the protector, the barrier between you and this gunman. Yeah. Which is crazy. the fact that she felt comfortable doing that is crazy to me. That didn't even piss me off. What pissed me off is when he pulled out and shot 2 shots. His wife, her first reaction is, let me grab my phone so I can keep recording. And you know what happened with him? He realized like, oh shit, probably. I'm assuming that the suspect was like, I got to drop her too.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And he dropped her.
I guarantee you right now, this very moment, he's in Vegas. So it's what? It's 10.
Well, you know that's my city.
Yeah, right?
10:30.
Yeah, so he's awake, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you right now, he's like, that was stupid.
Oh, yeah. 30 seconds cost him 30 years.
I right now, I bet you he's like, I should not have done that.
Nah.
And again, it goes back to, y'all have to understand that the internet is where a lot of mentally ill people are just together in one place. Back 30 years ago, a crazy person was just by themselves. They didn't have access to other crazy people.
I say this. You remember the girl from Charlotte who went to Cancun with her friends and they killed her?
Mm-hmm.
RIP to her. But it was sad because we was talking about that a week ago, me and Karina, and then somebody made a fake status about, they extraditing all those people back to Mexico, right? And so it got hundreds of shares, tens of thousands of views, because now people doing that just for the person to be like, I just made this up.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote last week on my Twitter, I was like, yo, we share the internet with some of the piss poorest people ever. And you got to realize that, like you just said, just going back to your point, that, we got to sit beside those people. We have to talk to those people. You might be in the movies with that person. Your kid might be marrying that person. That's where we at in life now. And it's like, them circles getting blended, and it's sad.
Yeah. Again, internet's not real. And like, we have to stop treating it as such. Like, it is for content. Like, that's it. It is for but it's not for a place for me to get into it with, a podcast to the point where, when I see you, I want to take your life.
Absolutely. To them podcasts that don't rock with us, just text me before y'all ready to do something stupid.
I'm calling the cops, y'all. I'm old. I am calling the police. I am a citizen.
Plus, you niggas ain't recording no more anyway. We got y'all up out of here. When I wanted to play ball, then y'all don't want to play no more. I hate a nigga who lose the game and want to take his ball and go home.
See, Gavin started stuff. Gavin started stuff.
My bad. Nah, man, they was playing games. I was at Leo's birthday and I was talking trash about some content.
I'm calling the police. Tell y'all now.
Hey, man.
You threaten online, I'm calling the cops.
All I'm saying is a lot of y'all, I keep saying this. I keep saying it. A lot of y'all doing black dad, black father, black men content in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, and act like we are not Feed Spot's #1 black dads podcast in the country. Don't play with me.
We're the #1 podcast in Charlotte too.
And shout out for putting us on that list, Feed Spot. We love y'all. I am gonna tell y'all this. We coming for that dad's podcast spot, because I'm telling y'all, if it ain't we got the #1 dad's podcast in the country. I don't care. And we ain't being paid. We being sponsored. But even that, some of y'all are going off of your fame. That's why y'all got the #1 podcast in there. And I ain't mad at it. Use your resources. Golly. That's why our stuff looks so good. We ain't had these cameras. We'd be like these other podcasts out here. We'd be stuck. One of my Mike knows. Mike isn't, no matter what y'all say, Mike ain't the petty one on this podcast.
I'm really, really not. I'm not petty at all.
Oh, I hold grudges.
Yeah,
y'all did us dirty.
They did. But
when Roy and Maul came here, they did us dirty out there.
They did.
Sorry. I'm going to tell the truth. They did us dirty because I had a photography podcast, which was the #1 podcast in this city. And I had to get overlooked because Key quit. And me and Mike wasn't big enough to be selected. And that podcast, shout out to Black Fly on the Wall, who no longer does a podcast anymore. They got up there. They did their thing. I ain't hating. They killed the second half of it. But look, I told them, me and Mike is on our way.
Yeah. Just about to be the #1 podcast. Isn't that right, Mr. Micropod?
Ain't that right? One of my favorite people in Vegas is Bianca. And you know what's funny is 3 weeks ago, she hit me up and she said, I really want y'all opinion on Halle and DDG. And I told her, I said, all right, I see what Mike says. And I forgot.
Yeah.
It's not like we ducking this. But I just forgot. But I wanted to tell Mike, I told her, I said, Mike loves to get everything a week.
Yeah.
And she said, yo, this is going to, we put people in different places. And I'm thinking about her because I actually texted her yesterday when this whole Vegas thing, I was like, is this true? Is this like a fake thing? She said, nah, the strip is on fire right now.
That's crazy.
They not playing. She said the strip is on fire. And my girl always say, when it get hot outside, y'all go extra crazy.
Well, that is also true. The heat does make people go wild.
And it's different heat out there.
So, but people are crazy when they're crazy. I think Alaska has like the highest per capita rate of violence in the world. And it's not even close.
Dang.
Like they had like the most, I think they had like the most serial killers active at one time also. Alaska.
That's
of
crazy.
all places.
Need to look that up. Halle and DDG have replaced Blueface in
No.
Krishan
We're not gonna say they're that bad.
No. I'm talking about for can't keep us out of their relationship group chat.
Well,
No.
he's a content creator. She's an entertainer also.
Absolutely.
So
And
that
same thing for them.
Yeah, same thing for them.
So that's
yeah.
no. They not as bad as them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say nothing because he shoot people and she box people. And I don't got nothing to do with that. And DDG, now we talking about DDG and Halle. And me and Mike love to refer back to Chloe's quote of, who y'all think I am? That's actually my sister.
That's who my sister is, yeah.
And the internet do not focus on that enough.
No, they don't. I don't really have a lot to say about them. No, and this is why, like, because when it comes to like divorce and custody, I like to let those things completely finish, and let more stuff come out before I just give an opinion, because sometimes the person you think is right be the person that's dead wrong. They just got the best lawyer.
Facts. Yes.
So it's one of those things where I always like for it to finish. The reason why I thought what I did think was interesting though was this is just the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody understood why Halle jumped in the car and went to DDG house when he had his son, right? That was a mother protecting, quote unquote, her child, right? Mm-hmm. But everybody did not understand when Offset had to deactivate his social media when his son is dressing like the mother's boyfriend, right? Because that can't be a father feeling the way about his child.
That ain't fair. That's like two totally different things.
No, I don't think it is though, because I think we just see fathers' love for their children different than mothers' love for their children.
I think, I don't compare those two because the internet has since found out that Cardi's son had that hairstyle for like a month before.
Yeah.
And Stefan got it. I also think that when you're online...
But Offset didn't know, he might not know that though, right? He can only go off what he sees on social media.
That's the problem right there.
If you seeing your kids, which goes back to the Halle and DDG.
Offset, they not in custody court though. Offset and them not. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Offset, we gotta also remember, Offset was just with Cardi on Christmas. He was at her mom's house with his kids and her. Like, that's a known thing.
Yeah.
Also, I think that I don't compare the Offset situation because I look at it and say, you getting online talking about you willing to crash out and you throwing indirect threats at another man. Another man that I just think that's wild. I think that
But why? Why is he throwing these threats, right? Is it about you being around my children, or is it about you being around my woman? Because one of these is stupid and one of these is understandable.
Well, it can't be about your woman because it can't be because Stefan Diggs around your woman. Why? Because you've embarrassed your wife for the last 3 years.
Yeah, so we don't think that's the case, right?
Yeah,
so
we don't.
So the reasoning, we're like, it might be something about the kids.
It may be, but also if you got your kids, then that's a whole different subject.
Well, that's the thing though, right? Because again, Halle DDG, we're talking about getting your kid. And I can't, here's the thing, I can't defend DDG the way I want to here. Because like I said, just going through what I've seen on social media, I do not know these people.
Yeah.
But just going through, it's like, there's been questionable things on both sides, right?
Facts.
Y'all need to get to court. So one of the reasons why I always say, I think we just said this last week, go to court, get a court order. Once you get that, now we can have a discussion.
Now we can have a discussion. But I looked at, you know what? And so I look at Offset and I said, you crashing out because your wife is now showcasing a man that has been around her for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. And now you got people in your comments clowning you because you lost a boss chick, for the lack of a better word, right? And Offset is crashing out over that. However, you've been embarrassing her for the last year, two years on purpose. And like throwing it in her face, literally saying, yo, who cares that I just hang out with this girl? You're going to be back over here on your knees doing X, Y, and Z to me in a little bit. And let me put it like this. She was your ex. She was your wife at the time when you saying this. That is disgusting work. Yeah. You looking at Halle, I look at Halle and DDG both as corns, kind of like you. And I look at Halle crashing out. Let me put it like this. Them text messages told me more about DDG than it told me about Haley.
I think it's both though, because
hold on, if he sent it to Neighborhood Talk, because
he sent it to somebody. Someone had to have access, and it goes somewhere.
To me, that gets corny,
right? So I don't know if the attorney had access. If they're real, it got leaked. Right?
I got a real question.
Yeah,
because I don't know. When you go through custody court, is all that public information? Because then that would be be in there.
You have to give it to your attorney.
And does it become public? Like, can I go to the courthouse and find that?
Yeah. Sometimes yes. Let's say right there. Everything that you send to your attorney, your attorney basically sends it over to the judge in the settlement.
Okay.
So a judge reviews it.
Yeah.
So that's why most time when they come to court, they've already made a decision because they've already reviewed everything.
Yeah.
They just want to see if you're going to.
I just want to know if that's public information.
It's not public, but to your point though, if someone's in court and they know your name and they go through it, it is a chance that they could grab it.
And see, I could see the Neighborhood Talk saying, I could see him backdooring it, like, yo, go look this up. Here you go, or maybe doing it, or Jason Lee messy. I could see Jason Lee going to look that up. I just thought when he showed those messages, I was just like, yo, this one day you gonna wake up and it's like, that's somebody I decided to have a child with, and that's my son's mom.
Anybody messages. I mean, to any man listening right now, go to the last argument you and your wife had and go and reread those text messages. I promise you, they're going to look just as ridiculously crazy.
Well, no, I don't.
I'm just saying, not like Haley. I'm just saying, like, they're not messages that you want to take a screenshot
and put
and post to the internet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's private messaging in general, right? Remember we had the question, would you rather your videos get leaked or your text messages?
Yeah,
we were like, videos.
Please, yeah. And I don't even talk crazy. I tell you this right now. There is a woman out here in the world who say, I talk to them crazy. Still don't want that out.
Yeah.
Still do not.
I'd rather a video dropped in my text messages.
We ready for a real conversation?
What are we talking about?
Are we going to have a real conversation?
Man, I mean, we done started kind of hot today. This is actually... might be our best part of the year so far.
Absolutely. The last, who posted it? Essence or Neighborhood Talk posted. I commented, every excuse in the world is about to be given to this woman.
Oh, absolutely.
Are we ready to have a conversation if postpartum is a shield or a sword when it comes to parenting and when women act out of character?
Postpartum depression, because I hate y'all just do postpartum.
Excuse me. Are we willing to have that conversation?
No, we're not. We're not even close. I looked at the comments last week and I did not comment. We're not even close to being prepared of whether or not we can have that conversation.
Because everybody immediately went there and she ain't said nothing.
Well, we can infer because DDG did say back in November, she was dealing with postpartum depression. So he was just like, hey, lay off of her, which at the time we thought was very, very commendable.
Absolutely.
Right?
We thought. So until he took his kid to Casa in that house, and now you having your kid with your son being with his father was a problem. But that's another subject.
Yeah, another subject. So, but is it used as an excuse? You ask. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't. That will only bring misandrous in my comment section, and I have no desire. The same way when we talked about Eminem, right? Like that conversation was supposed to go to the Source Music crowd, and for some reason it ended up in 4chan.
Yeah, hey, but I appreciate y'all. We get paid off of that. Yeah. So I just had to take the L.
Yeah, so it's like with this question, like I think it's something that women should probably discuss amongst themselves. The same way men have had to have conversations about our behaviors.
Well, we never going to do that. Well, for me, I'm not looking at it to judge nobody or to question nobody. I just want to I just want to say this conversation opened up my eyes to, we automatically look to give women an excuse, and we look to diagnose people that we have no information on. Yeah. Even though DDG said what he said, but I do want to say, like, are we making excuses of it? The reason why, because postpartum can last up to years. Postpartum depression, right? It can last up to years. And it's tough, especially when new parents, especially when new young parents are dealing with it. Yo, when you're with your girl and it's her first child, she don't know what the fuck going on.
Well, none of us do.
I ain't even got to the guys yet.
Yeah.
It's different when she doesn't know. So when you ask her, because only thing we doing is reading some pamphlet, we looking at some articles on Google, because that's the first thing men do, right? We go to Google, we Google something, our moms is telling us on the side, maybe we've had a sister or somebody else who've had a child to say, hey, because the doctor spoke to me when she was in the bathroom. Hey, if you see anything, you need to, here's your pamphlet as a father, right? But sometimes when you go to your girl and say, hey, are you dealing with this? Should we get help? It's no, I'm fine.
But you buried the lead there, right? Because you and your girl are what? Together.
We married. Yeah,
y'all together. A lot of times we're not in the homes, which means that a lot of that pressure she's dealing with on her own, which is wild. I mean, if you've ever went through childbirth, right? Like, my ex couldn't move for like 3 days. Like the first doctor's appointment, I had to take the kid.
Absolutely.
Right? She couldn't even move, right? So it's like, imagine if you don't have someone though, right? Which is wild. Right.
Yeah.
Once you go through it. And I think if anything, as men, we should be like, look, just read the comment section. If everybody's excusing us and if everybody is saying, yo, it is normal for me to be out of my freaking mind, for however long, as a man, that should be something to you to be like, hey, you know what? Let me make sure I'm around my kid.
Absolutely.
Let me make sure that I'm taking care of the kid.
For me, I get tight because it's like when you do ask questions, like what I'm asking, and when you do talk to people, kind of what you saying, who gonna come to the comments, yo, you insensitive, you anti-woman, you don't care. And it's like, hold on. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to get an understanding here.
Because are we educating people or are we judging people?
We're judging people.
Exactly. So it's getting sad because if we can educate women on what that looks like, and hey, maybe you need to bring your mom in here because your mom has went through this. She can help you through it, right?
Your mother, and grandmother, your baby daddy, your daddy, somebody.
But if you can, once they start helping you, then you seeing it, then now we can start educating because I had no idea. And I tell people all the time, I didn't know what postpartum was until my son got here. Yeah. Right? And then I realized how long it lasted. And I realized like stuff ain't okay. Then it was like, hey, But
we're just not used to asking such heavy questions, right?
Men aren't.
Of not knowing. Well, women too, because I mean, hell, like I still be talking to women that don't understand how babies are made.
Yeah.
So it's like it's such a hard place of, especially when you get older, right? You're 30 plus and you still don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a little bit of a shame there. Yeah. Versus like I was a little bit different when I had my son because my youngest sister is 15 years younger than me, right? So a lot of stuff I had to do from the time, my parents went back to work.
Absolutely.
I'm watching a newborn.
Yeah.
So
and
a
your
lot
mom
of
worked in the medical field.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of it was like muscle memory to me, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't go to my son's mother, who was my wife at the time, and be like, hey, you don't know what you're doing right here. You need to let me do this, right?
Yeah.
As a man, as her just birthing a child. So it's like we don't really understand like how to have those questions, and she don't really understand how like to ask for help, right?
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm the child's mother. I should know this instinctively. And it's like, well, that's not really the way it works.
Yeah, and I wish that men could get more grace on this because if the women don't know, we for damn sure don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They got to say, hey, I don't know. And then we got to be allowed to ask, okay, where can I provide the most support right now? Right? Because what I think might be helping might not be helping at all. It might just be annoying you, irritating the hell out of you.
That's how some people end up splitting, which is sad because it's like, you know what? We ain't, in my darkest moments and my toughest times, we couldn't see eye to eye, and then it just becomes just a long thing. It's sad. That's what I was thinking about last night. You see, you should have been there. Karina out of town, so I was sitting on the couch by myself. I ain't go to bed at 1 o'clock last night.
Yeah, but is it being used as a shield or sword? To get back to your question, I don't think, I always say on this podcast, we're not mature enough to have a lot of conversations. This is one of them. And I don't ever want to have a conversation just for a bunch of engagement. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want a bunch of people coming to try to have a conversation that really just want to have it in bad faith. They just want to yell. They just want to excuse their behavior. Yeah, it is.
They're going to do this here.
Yeah, but it's like, we could curate it a little bit. Yeah. So, here, we should be able to have the conversation. I think anybody listening right now should take it under advisement. If your wife has had a kid recently, if y'all going to have a kid, be like, let me get as much information on this as possible, right? And then hopefully I don't need it.
Hopefully, but you probably will. And if you have a good relationship with her mom,
what's the quote? It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Facts.
Yeah.
I've been up on my trash TV shows. Shout out to Love Island USA.
This is definitely your show.
I love these type of shows.
You should have went on there before you was married.
I thought about that. They were never gonna let me go on there. First of all, I have albinism. I'm not tall enough.
But you would have been known just for that though.
I would have, but then you gotta understand when they get up there and some girl asks the first ignorant question or say something crazy, they gonna kill her off. And then I look at this whole show. Hey, I ain't Mike who think he a 6, right? Like I ain't him. I know how y'all feel about niggas, so I just do like, yo, it's called.
Hey
cool.
man, I do good work for a 6, man. It don't bother me.
I say this. Everybody on these shows look like models, and so
that is true.
Here's the problem I had with Love Island. So the T is that Love Island's supposed to come out, and the word came down that ain't no black people on the show. So the show got pushed. Or
do we have to have black people on every show?
The gays and liberals want it, yes.
Yeah, so do we have to?
I just answered it.
We got to stop doing what they want. That's why we don't have a president that you want right now.
Yeah,
you keep trying to do what they want.
Yeah, but that's fair. But where we at with it? Do we have to? No, but we can't be like, all right.
Because every time we get a black person there, it seems like it's a forced black person.
Nah, on this, yeah, when they had one, but this one they ended up with 4.
Okay,
5 actually. So what came out, the rumor was it was none. Now they had 5, which let me know they went back to the drawing board. And they was like, it leaked out. Now, the first part, if you don't understand Love Island, they just put, I think it's 12 singles on there, and you date, people get voted off, and at the end, you're supposed to be looking for love and whatnot. They have 2 pretty black girls on there. They have a guy.
One of them dark skin?
Both of them are dark skin.
Yeah, they
they
definitely went back to the drawing board.
Yeah. They what Bryson Tiller said, they right their wrongs. And they pretty too. They have a short guy who's a good looking brother.
Definitely went back to the drawing board.
He claimed he 5'10", that nigga look 5'8". But they went back there, but you could tell he a player. And one of
you got to be when you're short.
No. One of the greatest I was about to call her throat goat eaters on Twitter that I follow.
She probably call herself that. That's probably
no. Everybody know who Miss Sapphire is.
I don't know Miss Sapphire. I probably know if I see her.
Oh gosh.
Just go ahead, keep going.
She posted that nigga and was like, I love him, which let me know that girl she is one of a kind. She is one of one. But anyway,
Miss Sapphire, the soul snatcher.
Just click that first video.
That's what comes up in the
Just click the first video she got. If it ain't her changing in her room, man. She is amazing. Shout out to her. But anyway, they got a black guy who's a cowboy on there, and they got one boy who's the F boy. So what happens is when you on the show, you're supposed to be dating, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I laughed on the first episode. They posted, right? And they got this Hispanic girl on there. She like 4'8", not my type. Fake titties, not my type. Kind of cute. She got everything fake. Boy, why did the internet find her on podcasts? Nigga. She a white Latina.
Okay, is she saying it negatively or is she saying it?
She's on a podcast. Yo, my nigga, this niggas don't be doing it. She doing that. I'm not a white Cuban. She doing that.
Oh, she Cuban?
Yeah.
She wildin'.
Yeah, because they. Never mind. We'll get to white Latinos in a little bit. But anyway, she was on there. Episode 2. They just said she left the villa. They got her up out of there. And they found out she was a Trump supporter. So they got her up out of there quick. Which leads me to the Latin folks of this world. Yo, y'all could be down there you want to. When niggas find out you saying the word nigga all the time, you will be removed from all group chats.
Yeah.
Unless you in LA and New York, because they do stuff a lot different.
In Florida a little bit too, though.
Oh, well, Florida let everything go.
Yeah. Florida a little bit too.
But that ain't even the reason why I'm bringing this show up is because they had Mike over here still looking up that video. I
actually gotta find a song for our next segment.
But what had me laughing was there was a segment. Picture this, Mike. It's all 12 of them sitting down. Everybody's blindfolded. So if you wanted to kiss somebody, you had to raise your hand. And what they would do is you could take your blindfold off and you can go kiss whoever blindfolded. Kiss any girl you wanted to, kiss any guy you wanted to, right? So everybody did it. Now, to me, that's breaking consent.
Well, I guess you have to consent to sit in the circle. I guess that's already consent.
Maybe. And that's what I'm assuming the show is saying. Hey, if you sit here, you're consenting to anybody can kiss you.
Yeah, but that's a little bit of dubious consent, though.
Yeah, so
that we always talk about.
Well, that you believe in, or you try
No, I say that's a thing. Not that I believe it. I believe in getting very, very good consent. Because what I'm gonna need from you, I'm gonna need the yes.
Right, Shannon. But that ain't even a joke. They bring in 2 people none of these people have ever met, and they kissed everybody. And I thought that was the wildest shit I've ever seen, especially.
So people think that it's somebody there, and it's somebody that
they just brung in the room.
Hasn't been there.
And they left out the room.
That's a little wild.
That is a little wild. And I said, yo, we letting white people get off anything they want to on Netflix.
That is a little wild.
And it ain't that the 2 people that was kissing, they definitely was Hispanic and something.
That is 100% dubious consent.
I don't even know if that's consent. Like, bro, imagine you say, yo, I sit here, I get a kiss, and you see 3 baddies, and a dude come in and kiss you.
That is not consent.
Thank you.
That is not
That's
consent.
all so when I put it on Threads,
consent.
I said, yo, we just letting this shit rock. Like, nobody ain't the fact that nobody discussed that to me is crazy, but whatever. The BET Awards was last night.
Didn't watch. Didn't know.
I'm going to tell y'all, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I took notes. And I took notes because I really, really enjoyed this. I will say this. I do love, kind of love. I don't know. I grew up watching the BET Awards with my parents.
It was a thing when it first dropped, like BET Awards, Source Awards, because it was something that we had outside of, the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Grammys, you might get into, you might not get into, because it's gonna be a bunch of artists you really don't know.
No, yeah.
And so like, the BET Award, crazy part is with the Source and the BET Award, the CMAs have kind of become for country music what this was supposed to be for hip hop.
Yeah.
Right?
And I looked at it yesterday, and the reason why I say that because I remember watching Monique dancing like Beyonce with my mom and dad in the same living room, right? I remember when Cater to You happened and Michelle grabbed Magic Johnson up there, and my mom was like, all right, this is getting a little too risque. If y'all don't know, my mom is very churchy, right? I've never heard Kevin Hart said shit so many times last night that I was just like, if Hayden was there, I probably would be like, all right, bro, you gotta go upstairs. You doing too. Because now you can say the S word on TV. They don't bleep it. Even when they was doing like the categories for like best rap hip hop album, it was Future song type shit and Future just saying shit. They just let
it fly.
Let it fly.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm not for censorship.
Kevin Hart was pretty funny. I will give that to him.
That is definitely trying to make it I guess come back if you're using Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, they brung out the big hitters. You had Kevin Hart. You was giving an award to Jamie Foxx. Stevie Wonder gave Jamie Foxx this award. Just let that play.
Oh yeah. They bringing out the heavy hitters.
Yeah, they wasn't playing. What else I got from it? The Ashanti and J-Lo debate is officially over.
What was ever the debate between Ashanti and J-Lo?
Who was the better artist? And it was always the J-Lo thing. And the joke was, it was like, J-Lo can't sing, Ashanti really can't sing, J-Lo can dance, Ashanti can't. I'm here to tell y'all, both careers is over. But the debate is over for me who I prefer as the artist. J-Lo is washed. Ashanti, let me tell you, this is why you need to go back and watch it. They did a montage. So the theme of the party, theme of last night was 106 in Park, and we'll get to 106 in Sports in a little bit. But
so I did see that they were upset that Roxy didn't come.
Roxy wasn't there and AJ wasn't there. But I was surprised Free was there because she really, from all intents and purposes, she didn't rock with Stephen Hill when she was leaving. So that's why she didn't come to work the last thing. We know Roxy and Terrence J, we don't know if they still rock with each other.
Yeah.
But
did Terrence J come?
He was there. Terrence J always gonna get that check. Like I met him in college one time. He always because he went to A&T.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was one of them situations where every day somebody performed, and then it'd be like 106 in Park was highlighting the top performers of all time from there.
Yeah.
So they did a montage. It was Ashanti, Maya, and Anne-Marie, and Keisha Cole. When I say all 4 of them looked amazing, I'm talking about fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And if anybody saw J-Lo perform at the AMAs 2 weeks ago, I don't want to hear no more conversation about her and Ashanti. Ashanti let me know that she's her, right? And, the joke was Ashanti writing for J-Lo, so J-Lo must be, whatever. And that was all Irv Gotti playing his games. But anywho, that was cool. Who was looking good? I would say that. Lil Wayne is done. I don't care. He's done.
Yeah.
The album came. Yeah. It was terrible. I ain't listened to it, so I can't call it terrible.
Yeah, I made it about 3 songs in, and I was like, okay.
I heard those are 3 good songs.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, and I was like, this is good. I was just like,
you didn't get to the Elephant song?
Nah, I was like, it ain't no need to be wasting.
Have you heard the Elephant song?
No.
Can I play just 30 seconds for you.
As long as it doesn't get us demonetized.
Oh, it won't. They won't do that. They'll probably just make me figure something out. We're gonna talk all over this. Hold on. That's how the song starts. Oh shit. That ain't it. Hold on.
What up, though? All my niggas cutthroat. Cut a
This
nigga
is
head off. You looking like you fumbled. Smoke 'em like
This is what was going on.
jump rope. Syrup in the double cup.
You don't need to hear no more.
Yeah, we don't need to hear no more.
When I heard that song on Twitter, I said I'm good. Lil Wayne got up there and he did the intro to the album. I think it's song number 2.
Yeah.
He did that with the Sancti Choir. Shout out to Ahavia and Dennis, who just got married. They from Charlotte. Shout out to Fannie Mae. Amazing. Dope to see all that. This has nothing to do with y'all. No reflection on y'all. Shout out to Charlotte. We love y'all. That shit was hell. I was like, eh. Also, and then he did a Millie, and I said, this is who y'all wanted for the Super Bowl. Thank you, Jay-Z and Rock Nation, for shutting this down. Kurt Franklin got to loosen up. A lot of people was making jokes.
Kurt is normally too loose.
Kevin Hart made that joke. Kevin Hart made that joke, and I think that just set Kurt Franklin down a mood that he did not want to be a part of this show anymore. I was on the phone with my girl, so I missed some parts. So maybe Kurt Franklin got an award, but I didn't see it.
I mean, I would say Kurt would deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award of some sort.
Oh, absolutely. Kurt
He's
Franklin and
definitely
Young
the
Jeezy.
Micah Jackson of
Gospel.
gospel.
Well, I used to call him the Lil John of gospel. But yeah.
I think he went beyond. I think.
He definitely. Kurt Franklin and Jeezy raised me. That's my life. Kurt Franklin took me, and then
I'm not expecting you to say that.
yeah, and then Jeezy said, "I got you, bro. You in high school now." Like both of those two raised me. But Kevin Hart made a joke about him always penis thrusting. And he was like, "You ain't doing that tonight." Like, and Kurt Franklin did not have a smile on his face. I was like, poor
sorry.
Kurt, man.
Sorry, Kirky.
Another person I want to retire. So sorry, let me go back to my notes.
Who else we retiring?
Mariah Carey, we done.
What did Mariah do?
This is how you know they bring the heavy hitters out. Why is it a protest going on outside and Mariah Carey showing up? She don't do that typically, right? Mariah Carey looked amazing. I hate when we do this to people. I thought Mariah Carey was a clone. That's how stiff she was looking. She did 2 new songs. She did a song. You got Rakim up there rapping. She goes, "It's Rakim," and I'm like, eh.
Yeah,
she looked amazing though.
But we get older, we get stiff. You got to think, man. Like,
retire her.
They're older than me, and I'm old.
Mariah Carey, you can go sit with J-Lo in the corner.
So
you are done. Mariah Carey,
still
we are done.
though.
And she is beautiful. I seen her in person. I say this all the time. I seen her in person. I was shocked. She tried to hit a high note to start. I wonder if they're gonna Alicia Keys it, where they like change it on the replay.
They will.
That
everybody's kind of struggling right now with the music. I saw a Tiny Desk for one of my favorite boos, man.
Who?
I ain't gonna say it.
Anne-Marie?
Yeah.
She only got one song though. How many songs she got? I know she only had one album.
That's the one we know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
she did the right thing. She made music. I think she graduated from Georgetown. She married somebody rich. Was like, I'm out.
She looked amazing. Shout out to them Yolas too on the red carpet. She wore a sheer top. Go on. Man, whatever, man. All right. I keep telling y'all what's going on. If you click Yolas, they keep refreshing. Like, I don't know what the hell
they're refreshing.
Yeah, man. They keep refreshing. Camp, they're not bringing 106 in Park back, but they bring in 106 in Park Sports with Cam Newton. I don't know what happened
on BET.
I don't know what happened to his
ESPN
deal, but clearly he ain't there no more.
Maybe it's the same parent company, to be honest.
Oh, all y'all. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah,
all
it might
y'all
be the same parent company.
But yeah,
106 in sports with Cam, that actually might be decent. I'm still not watching BET, but
me either. But what made me mad
I watch
was
clips on YouTube.
He was like, we're going to talk about sports. We're going to do a little debating, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, and we're going to talk about pop culture, which lets me know that y'all not going to get to the sports, which I don't like. But, it is what it is. Overall, it was a great show because what's my girl name, man? Shout out to her. One of the greatest speeches. Hold on.
Happening right now outside of the building.
Because all of y'all was too pussy to do what she did.
There are ruthless attacks that are creating fear and chaos in our communities in the name of law and order. Trump is using military forces to stop a protest. And I want y'all to consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. What type of government is that? People are being swept up and torn from their families. And I feel it's my responsibility as an artist to use this moment to speak up for all oppressed people. For Black people, for Latino people, for trans people, for the people in Gaza. We all deserve to live in hope and not in fear. And I hope we stand together, my brothers and my sisters, against hate, and we protest against it. Thank you, BET.
So Doji won the first award of the night, and it was for a female hip hop artist. I knew she was gonna win. However, Glorilla was sitting front row. So both of them was on the front row. But when you clean up at the Grammys, you gonna clean up at you better.
I'm about to say, if you got the Grammys award, you're gonna get the BET award.
Yeah. So when that happened, and I didn't know what she was doing. When she was walking up, she kind of looked nervous. So I'm like, girl, what are you doing? You won the Grammy. You didn't know? You ain't performing tonight. You are there. Is you there because you supposed to win something. So when she got up there and she did that, I forgot. I knew the riots was happening, but sometimes we forget that this is live. They filmed the day before, the night before. And it's like anywhere else, this probably would have got shut down. Like, all right, we're not doing the BET Awards. They are having riots outside. And I really didn't understand what was going on, but right now LA is on fire. It looks a mess. It looks a damn mess.
Looks like LA. I mean, LA due for a riot like every 25 years, so it's kind of what LA do.
It is what LA do. And we living in crazy times, dog. Like, they are putting the military out there.
There's been crazier times. Like, I get what everybody's saying.
But this is crazy. We can't say it's been crazy. Yeah, we used to have slaves. Yeah, but it's still crazy.
I mean, I haven't seen any dogs sick on anybody yet. They haven't firebombed a church with kids in it. No. Yeah, so it's like, times have been crazier, so...
You sound like an old man.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you have to put things in perspective. Like, things could get much, much worse. Like, people are like, "Yo, this is the worst it ever been," and it's like, nah,
nobody's saying that.
This is kind of America par for the course. This is kind of just the country in general.
It's still crazy. I ain't gonna say, because people not getting shot down on water hoses, that it's not crazy.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what white supremacists want you to do. It could get worse.
No. No, the point that I'm making is like, no one ever stops it, right? There's never a protest that you get most people that agree with the protest, right? If you just Google any politics or any protest of all time and go look at the disapproval rate. Like any protest, right?
That's because
the disapproval rate is always 70-75%. Even when it's
because that's most of the country that against the protest.
Yeah, even when it's a rightful protest, right?
Yeah.
Most people are against it. So it's like, when it comes to this, like, I support people right to protest, right? I don't care, right? Even if it inconveniences me, right? I don't care if you shut down the road. Like, don't fuck up my shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
nah, they saying, you gotta go too.
Yeah, but it's like, like you fuck up my shit, then like, I'm really gonna be annoyed. But if you protest and it's just inconvenience in my life, I support that. Like, cause honestly, that is America. But to be fair, if you go through the history of this country, nothing has ever changed in this country just because people protest. Typically, it takes something actionable and violent for things to change.
I know that, yeah.
And that has not happened yet. So when I say it ain't the worst, I'm saying people are expecting change, and it's like, nah, bro, this ain't how change occurs in this country.
Hey, that's fair. That is a fair assessment. Why are we here? Well, first of all, before we even get there.
Why are we here?
Oh, here we go. Here go Mike. Mike been waiting for the shit. Not you salsa into this shit.
Why we here? This is why we here.
Oh God, that might be racist a little bit. That is amazing.
No, that's why we here. This is why we here.
You saying we here because of the Latinos?
The Latinos decided that they wanted to vote overwhelmingly. But what is it? 55%?
I don't know if it's for them or if it's for white women. It might actually just be white women. But.
Like, and this is the thing.
It ain't on blacks for sure.
And it is not on us. This is not our fight. And I support protests. I support immigration. Let me just be very, very clear. Most of our greatest inventions is due in part to some immigrant having a child here in America that invents something great.
Oh, facts.
So it's like I am pro-immigration. Now you can have an argument about illegal, what's legal, what's not. I'm not going to have that conversation. Not today. I have it all day. And I'll probably piss both sides off, which is why I like having it. But what I will say is, I need my Latino brothers and sisters, because some of y'all I do believe are brothers and sisters. And I invest in y'all economy. Trust me, I love your countries. I invest in your economy.
That's how this podcast started off already.
Yeah. But with that being said, y'all got to separate for me, because I don't know which one of y'all is for who, and I can't really take a side until y'all divide it up.
And the problem with that is y'all not going to differentiate, because some of y'all that have the same skin tone as me,
yeah,
you rock with the Dems and blacks and whatever the case may be.
Yep.
And some of y'all that's dark be rocking for the other thing.
Yeah.
Because y'all be identifying as white sometimes.
Yeah,
not even sometimes, but y'all just be identifying as white.
Y'all
but they ain't gonna do it.
Y'all got it. The way that we call out ours, y'all got to call out y'all's.
They not gonna do that, because I mean, in America, we have different groups, right? In a country,
but it's kind of wrong that we group all Latinos together. Like, it's kind of wrong that we do that.
It is, and that's an American problem. Ain't their problem. They just benefiting from the the credit.
Like we need to break this. We need to break it out. We need to break it out. Like when you're in the classroom, teacher say you need to count out by threes. Like we need to break it out. Y'all need to count out by threes, and we need to break this thing out.
Yeah, Hispanics America did a disservice when saying, "Hey, are you a Hispanic? Are you African? Are you white? Are you black? Are you Asian? Do you identify as Hispanic as well?"
Yeah.
They mix that in, because when they see white and Hispanic, they like, oh, they white. Let's just put them over here.
Yeah.
And in blacks, they just gonna be like, they fully Hispanic.
Yeah.
We not gonna
we need to go ahead and break this thing out. So until that really happens,
which it ain't.
Yeah, it could though, because look, for all the protests that's going on right now, that's affected them and their families, because that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And y'all stop this counter argument of, well, it's all the black immigrants that are being like too, because we've been having that conversation for the last 10 years also. So don't bring that in there. This is a conversation right now of everybody that's coming through the southern border that is in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm for you being here. Like I love the eugenics of a mixed race people. So feel free.
All right, Dr. Umar.
Feel free to keep coming here. But y'all gotta let us know who's who, and then I can start taking sides. I can't take a side right now.
They ain't finna do that. Hold on, let me get to my dang, you sent another podcast thing? You sent that this morning?
Yeah, I said it this morning, but you can ignore it.
I was about to say, did you forget that you had sent me something?
I had added like 2 things, but we could.
We can go through it.
We can ignore it.
Hold on, man. Let me play a video real quick for you.
I think we already like an hour in. Oh, shit.
Why is it that
they gonna listen?
The Democratic Party is not loyal to the black community as the black community is loyal to it?
That's a phenomenal question, brother. A phenomenal question. And I think 2 things.
Shout out to Willie D.
The black community has not created the black agenda by which the Democratic Party must follow. We haven't given them a closed mouth won't ever get fed. And we so busy, we've lost sight, as I previously said, we've lost sight on what our plan is. When we wanted the Civil Rights Act to pass, we only focused on that. Now, the Democrats have thrown everything, and now it's women's reproductive rights. Now it's LGBT. Now it's immigration. It's everything but us.
We are officially in the it ain't black, it's just colored. And black people are allowed that colored and people of color shit.
Yep.
To just get us up out of here.
Yep. And we didn't know any better.
We did.
We didn't know any better. And what's funny is I was listening to a Dr. Claude Anderson clip last week, and he was saying that he created, it was like a reparations for the state of Florida, right, for blacks. And one of the things that he said in that clip, and what he said at the end reminded me of it. He said, I didn't create that for immigrants. He said, I didn't create that for Haitians. He said, I didn't create it for LGBTQ. He said, I created that for Afro-Americans that are in the state of Florida. And right now, anytime we say this, we have black people that look just like us that will come and say that is anti-black, that is misogynistic. And when you wonder why we don't have an agenda anymore, it is because masculine black men are just saying like, yo, I can't even fight for me. I'd be damn, I fight for somebody else. I can't even fight for me saying I deserve reparations, right? I can't even fight for me saying that I should be able to leave my home. I can't even fight for me saying that I believe in something, right? And have a conversation about it without somebody trying to get me up out of here or counsel me.
Yeah.
So when we stop showing up, that's when you get this right now where people are like, yo, where are the black people?
Yeah. It's a sad place to be in. Is tonight the game?
Tuesday night.
I know we up 1-1. Me and Hayden got $50 on it. My mom found out she gonna shut this bet down, so I'm trying to get this over with before she hear it. I think it is tonight. Should be. Ain't shit else on TV. It's Tuesday. What's the Monday or Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday. Let's see here. No, the game is tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What you think? You just seen both teams play.
Let's go back to Indy. So, no.
No, what you think about who gonna win?
I told y'all when it first went, that was going to be a great series. I think Indy's going to pull it out. I really do.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think they're going to pull it out.
I think you need a Hail Mary to win the first game, and the second game was close.
Yeah, but even though it wasn't close, they still didn't get blown out by 30. What did they lose by? It was like 15?
Yeah, but it was well over before the
second half the game was over, but I think they low key was like, all right, let's pack it up. Like, we ain't going to win tonight.
Yeah. I look at it like this. I don't think Indiana is as talented as what they look like on paper.
They not, but they play good.
They play hard.
They play good basketball. And they get the ball around. They move the ball. They don't really turn over. It was a good ass kicking the other night. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that they should have won that game. They definitely got the ass kicked.
They suck on offense. I hate to say it like that. Their defense is good.
OKC is so long and what do you call it, rangy?
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard to get the ball into the paint.
They was trash against New York.
Yeah,
in their offense, like it was getting stagnant, where it's just passing around, hoping.
But see, New York though, they had so many outlets, like it was just easy buckets. It's hard to get that against OKC.
It was some times where these buckets go the wrong way. New York could put a series out, and they didn't, because I don't think they was as talented as New York. I just think New York had a bad matchup, and it was over. But it's just like watching them. It seems like what New York.
Deep. And they have a lot of good players.
Well, that's why Tibbs ain't got no job now. You can't play 6 people when other dude is playing 9.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got my money on OKC clearly, so we'll see what happens. Aaron Rodgers, is he really gonna go to the Steelers? Are you still gonna be a Steelers fan if he do?
No. I was only gonna be a Steelers fan if Shador went there.
Oh,
so since Shador didn't go there,
say that.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm never a Steelers fan. I was like, I'd pull for him. No, I'm still rocking with these shitty Niners.
Hey man, y'all good, man.
If Aaron stays healthy. Yeah, I think they'll play well.
If Aaron stays healthy is a joke.
But he had to stay healthy in like 3 years.
Look, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but it's whatever.
I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers either. I liked him better when he just shut up and dribble.
Yeah, especially him. Shaq did his top 10 players of all time. I only said this to say, I'm gonna give y'all the top 10. It's Mike, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, Bill, Wilt, Larry, Hakeem, Tim, and Julius Erving. I only said this. What? I only said this to say,
go through that top 10 again. Go through it again.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Magic, Bill Russell, Wilt, Larry, Hakeem, Tim, and Julius.
Low. Shaq.
Oh, we got him at 6. I think. Well, this further proves my thing of Shaq is the greatest sports liar of all time. That's the only reason why I wanted to read this list out. Shaq is a liar.
Shaq is definitely a liar, man.
He lied. He lies to us so much that he be believing the lies.
He be believing it. Like, yeah.
Shaq wanted us to think that he believes Julius Erving is better than him. Okay.
Yeah. No, Shaq.
Okay. I love you showing your respect to certain people.
Yeah.
But okay.
Definitely, showing respect to Kobe.
Yeah.
So someone I don't even know if he would like if Kobe was still around.
He didn't like him when he was
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Because
we ain't got to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, like
they just got cool. Shout out to y'all getting cool.
I don't even think they were cool. They just met and had that conversation. I think a lot of this is like,
PR press.
And it could be like regret, right? We didn't get cool, but it's like
Shaq always do this.
You ain't really like him, bro.
When Shaq when the dust has settled, Shaq has always like, all right, let me change the narrative and lie.
This is true.
When you watch that Penny doc, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, especially him being the doc was like, oh, I got jealous of him. That's why I did blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, he'll make up a story.
Oh, yeah, he's a good liar. Do we need to get in this Diddy and 50 Cent? Is this financial abuse?
Let's save it for next week. Because that's a difficult topic. It has a little nuance in it. But it comes from 50 Cent basically threatening, I guess, like, to not pay a bill because
she was messing with Diddy?
Yeah. So, but we're going to discuss whether or not that's financial abuse. But let's save it for next week.
Oh, I thought you were saying was Diddy doing financial abuse? Because he like, if you don't act right, you ain't getting this. That's financial abuse.
That is financial abuse, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, well, we need to save it because there's no way we can have this conversation in 2 minutes.
Yeah, we can't. What we can't have in 2 minutes is Larsa Pippen said, Vlad, you an asshole. Jason Lee, you're not allowed to talk to him. And then Vlad, cornball ass, responded with, if you change your last name, I stop dragging you.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, Vlad, it is corny when you're talking about a woman and who she's sleeping with all the time.
And he asks every NBA player about her.
Yeah, like that is showing a little
perception.
It's a little obsessive.
Yeah.
Right? Like you shouldn't care about where a woman is laying her box unless that's your woman.
And she not.
If it's your woman, yes, be concerned where she laying her box.
Please.
But if it's not your woman, so like her, now I will say like her holding on to the Pippen name, like she is
insane.
Yeah, she is riding it out just a little bit too much.
It's like, all right, girl. But I guess the biggest topic was she said she didn't know Michael Jordan or the kids.
Or his kids. Yeah, fuck out of here.
Now, but here's my thing. There's no pictures. Is there pictures of her and Mike and the kids? Like, that's the weird part because I can't find them. Now, I don't know if this lie, and I feel like the lie has to be dispelled, and nobody has done it yet. She said she didn't even know Juanita. So to me...
Well, it depends, right? If Larsa met Pippen towards the end of his career, right? I don't know when she met him, right?
Yeah, and that's when we need to figure out...
But here's the thing, though. You can't hide money. So when she looked over there, she saw Michael Jordan's son. Like, she knew exactly who he was.
Oh, I don't think she had standards or morals.
Yeah, she knew exactly who he was. Like, you looked over there, you was like, yo, this is a black guy. Look like he got money. Look like he probably know people that he knows. And you're like, okay, he might be tied into the NBA in some form, shape, or form. But the idea that, like, you didn't know who he was at all, like, man, get out of here.
Yeah, she might be lying. Because they got married the last 2 championships.
Last 2 championships? Yeah, she knew exactly.
But hold on, let's see when Marcus Jordan was born. Because that'll tell us enough right there, too. Well, now, if he wasn't born yet, then yeah, maybe. You know, because she was very adamant on, I never met this
that
boy's
probably
mom.
Is true, right?
But then that's crazy. Then I can kind of understand it's happened. Now, I can understand her logic. Like I said, I don't believe she has morals. So I'm not holding her to no high regard.
Oh, I'm not saying that she knew him as a kid because that would be weird. but what I am saying is, like, when she looked over there and saw him, she knew exactly who he was.
Oh yeah, that's when the morals get thrown out.
Yeah, she knew exactly who
he was 7 when she married Scotty.
Yeah, I don't think she looked at him and was just like, oh, when this boy is 25, yeah, I'm a
no.
I don't think that happened, right? I'm not inferring that. Please do not take that from me.
What I'm trying to get at is I want to know that were you around him at that age? Because it would make sense if the 2 people who are leading a dynasty is hanging out, their families might have dinner, and you seen Marcus.
I don't think Jordan like
anybody. Which is why I believe her when she says that I've never met Juanita, which is crazy.
That is probably
so
true.
Now, let's speed it up.
Yeah.
Now we get into this end part.
Yeah.
You holding on to the name too long. Vlad is a cornball, and I think you gave Vlad what he wanted.
Yes, she did.
You gave him exactly
you
what he
should have
wanted.
never mentioned his name on talking to Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Like, there was no need for that.
And I want to know what's her problem because she told Jason, like, Jason said, okay, I can't talk to Kim Kardashian no more because of you. Like, we need to figure out what happened.
How long can a wife hold on to her last name post-divorce?
Karina leave me, how long can she have it?
Yeah. You blow up, you super famous.
Can I be real?
Yeah. Feel free.
If Roman's, long as Roman's here and you not married,
okay,
that's how long. Because I can understand why you want us to still have that family name, and it might be weird, and it's a lot of work. Karina had her maiden name for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women do because it is. You got to go down there work. Who want to go to the DMV?
When she had to go do her real ID, they sent her back home to get so much paperwork.
Ooh.
She was pissed. She was like, y'all don't have to do none of this. And I was like, you moved in my house. So I don't know. Now, let's say I have no kid.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Once them paper,
Give my name back.
Yeah, get my name back. I'll pay for it. I'll go with you to the DMV.
Yeah, give me my name back.
Now, also, y'all need to make it easier for people to change their names.
This is true. It should be online.
It should definitely be online. I should submit documents. Y'all are part of the same system. Y'all can't verify that this is real.
Yeah, it should be online.
But
marriage license, I should be going online.
But Larsa Pippen has been divorced since 2021. It ain't been that long. I mean,
from Scotty, it's been longer than that.
I don't think so, dog. I just Googled it. Hold on. Somebody was looking at my phone, was like, why you on private browsing? I said, if you don't back the fuck up. Yeah, they got divorced in 2021.
That is insane.
So it's only been 4 years.
Okay.
And they got kids, multiple kids. They got 4 kids together too. So she might hold on.
Poor Scotty.
Why? He got a bad ex-wife?
I mean, like when you lose a person that you love, man.
Talking about Michael Jordan? Because he lost him.
Yeah. When you lose what you love, man, I feel bad for people, man. Like I feel bad for divorced guys. I really do.
And Marcus might got game. He might be like, yo, my dad dropping his dog.
I don't think they're still together, are they?
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying though, COVID happened. They got divorced during COVID. Scotty and homegirl.
Larsa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy.
So, you know what? This doc coming out. Your dad been talking crazy about my pops. I caught you slipping. Let me holler at you. And now we kicking it. I could see that happening. Marcus might have game. Got money, coke, watermelon.
How old is
he
Larsa?
34. Oh, Larsa 50.
50.
34, 16 years. I don't like that, but y'all know how it is. Not Barack. I wish we had Barack Obama sitting here. Boy, I'll be out of here. What you got planned this weekend?
Can't really call it, man.
Barack, I ain't even gonna say what I was gonna say.
Actually, I got something to do this weekend, but I can't think of it right now.
Oh, this nigga might be out the country again.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
I got a couple. I think I got a wedding this weekend. I got a wedding, some maternity shoots. Shout out to my graduate shoot that I did. It was 2 ladies, 2 moms that I met. I met my graduate. I met her friend's maternity shoot, and so they're older women, but they boy. I said, yo, y'all group chats is more vulgar than ours as dudes.
Yeah, they are.
They were making jokes. They were making Paul's jokes, and they well over their 40s. And when I say it was amazing to hear, 1, because they weren't stiff. 2, because they listened to the podcast. 3, because one of them hit me up last night. It's like, you ain't told my story on your pod yet. I'm pressing you right now.
All right, we'll say that for next week?
No, I just said it. I just said it right now. She got to stop pressing me. I made her wait to the end. Shout out to my Boricua, my Puerto Rican sister. Let's hope, she don't rock with Trump. She be going off.
Hey, man, I told y'all, I want y'all to separate. That's all. I want to know who I need to rock with. I need to know if I need to stop going to Puerto Rico or if I need to stop going to the DR.
Oh, we going to Puerto Rico.
I didn't know where I need to stop going.
Both places are problematic. I'll tell you that right now. Mexico is the most problematic, but whatever.
Or Mexico.
And it's Mexicans when they get here.
Yeah, like I need to know. Like we need to.
Technically, we don't care what y'all do when y'all down there.
Split it up. I need to know who I need to mess with.
They got to start moving more like the Indians.
Just don't be the Colombians. Please, Colombians, don't let it be y'all.
Oh, they gonna be that too. Not the dark skin ones, it's too late.
Oh well, I'm good with the dark skin.
Yeah, they gotta start moving like the Indians. The Indians have they white ways of doing things, but they very much like, yo, our community is our community. We don't rock with X, Y, and Z. But whatever, man. Look, man, I want to thank y'all for listening. Sorry we went over. Funny part is y'all probably missed 10 minutes of potting before this. I do want us to start doing maybe when you can come in like 10 minutes early, and we start doing pre-podcast like lives.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
It'd be dope.
I could add 10 minutes. I'm already be at like a 2-hour lunch break anyway. What's 10 more minutes?
What's 10 more minutes? Mike is going to be live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Please tune in. Get in the comments. Cuss him out. Don't cuss him out. But he will be dropping some tips to help y'all with your resumes.
We do hiring tips in the beginning. And what do I have on for late night tomorrow? Avoid the unlucky. We talk about dating women who are broke.
Because y'all want the married chick from McDonald's. I had to tell my wife about my brother-in-law. One of his homeboys is very unlucky, and I said I told him years ago to get away from him.
Yeah, we have to avoid the unlucky and the Dr. Clyde clip. I actually got that tomorrow. We're talking about that tomorrow night.
All right, then, man.
To move that into the conversation with should we be protesting right now regarding illegal immigration. So that's actually going to be the conversation tomorrow night.
Hey, well, look, y'all tune in. I'll be there. I ain't doing that. My wife out of town, so I'll be in there loud. I'm being there early, too, talking my stuff.
That's all he do.
I love doing that. And with that, I'm going to holler at y'all next time.
How's your boy?